in my life. So I think where we left off was the millennium came. Unfortunately, it hasn't went. But it came, 2000. Remember all that business when we thought Y2K was the term that, oh God, we're going to lose our money in the bank. And some people I've met, the late Stan Musial, the all-time hits leader Pete Rose, who should be in the Hall of Fame, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, of course, the Stanley Cup champions, and my most prized possession, me and Herschel Walker, me and Van Halen with Glare in the back, me holding Billy Sims' Heisman Trophy from 1978. There's Billy Sims, of course, back when I was Bruce. David Lee Roth, his autograph to Scott from Joe Satriani, because I got my daughter backstage to meet him. Oh, me and Steve Vai. The list goes on and on. But anyways, no. Just little mementos of my past, which I have no regrets, nor should I in showing them. Oh, yeah. Meeting Joe Montana. But yeah, the millennium, right? So that came, and we all had that fear about Y2K, and everything, the sky was going to fall, and all hell was going to break loose, and what are we going to do, and let's stock up on food, and this, that, and everything, and truly the apocalypse and the sign of God, and right, and what happened? A burp. I don't know, I think we lost maybe 3 cents each in our banking account or something. I mean, nothing. Not even a speed bump. No mountains to climb. It's all propaganda. It was all fear. It was all unnecessary worry. But here we are now in the 21st century, 20 years in, 1/5 of the way for you mathematicians, through this very peculiar, I think, non-awe-inspiring century. So we're 2 decades in, and now we're dealing with things that we could never have imagined. And I think, like I said, we're only seeing the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, as it were. It's going to be really interesting. But in the last 20 years, we've had some real significant advancements in our day-to-day technology, what we refer to as technology. And in some ways, it's been the most beautiful thing, And in some ways, it's one of the most horrible things that man has ever created. And I think we can all agree on that. It's not really a side to get on. It's just, unilaterally across the board. I think we could say that there's definitely been some pluses, but equal, maybe greater amount of minuses. But going back to human beings, to people, when the 21st century came along, a year later, 9/11, and violence and shootings with youth and, a lot of things. And and a new set of government kind of slid in, and now everybody has a voice, and everything is so touchy-feely, and people's skin is, paper thin. But going back to trends and fashions and so forth, you look at it and you think, okay, this, that, and the other thing. But when I was young, we never did anything that was permanent, very temporary, very, dip the foot in the pool, not just diving in per se, just, whoa, that water's cold, right? And if you are going to swim, you get in gradually. Well, unlike with our love affair with technology, we didn't dip our foot in the pool. I think we barely stripped our clothes off and dove head first. And we didn't even check to see if, A, the water is warm or cold, but fuck, there was water even in the pool. And I think some of us crashed and burned over that. and are still crashing and burning. But with the advances of time and modern man's quest to, I don't know, get to the next level, the next phase, the next planet, whatever it may be, we're in this super rush to go where? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. But we came into this era where broaching on the subject of self-mutilation, which I find very troubling, has really ushered itself in, clearly. When I was a kid, using tattoos as an example, tattoos were kind of designated for a class of people or classes of people. If you saw tattoos on a guy, he probably did some time in prison. Maybe he was in the military. Maybe he was affiliated with a motorcycle gang or something, some passage, an initiation of some sort, And with women, well, strippers, hookers, chicks from the wrong side of town, it wasn't really anything to be extremely boastful about or proud of. And, if you saw a tattoo back then on somebody and you asked them, hey man, what's that tattoo about? Oh yeah, shit, man, yeah. I regret it. Yeah, I was drunk on leave in the military, back during the Vietnam War, or maybe even the Korean War and whatever it was back when I was a young man. Well, I was out with the fellas, a little peer pressure, and got a tattoo, and I was on a 24-hour furlough, a leave, and got this thing. And it was just, I don't know. It was just what guys did back then when we were overseas and, whatever. Right. But they didn't have 2, 3, 17, 4, 500, right? No, just an isolated incident, and been there, done that, and regretfully so, maybe half the time, and that was that. So where am I going? Well, stay for part 3.